Good morning, children. How are you all doing? I know you all are doing great and all are happy too. Exams are over. Happy? Okay, now let's just come back to our EVS classes. So, you all are ready to study our today's topic? Yes? Okay, now we will begin our class with an interesting activity. And what is the activity? Just ask any of your family member to blindfold you and ask them to give you a lemon to taste. When you taste a lemon, this expression comes up. Why? Because it is sour in taste. Yes. So, with this, we start our today's topic. From tasting to digesting. Now, we will see what is a food and what are the components does a food has and what is a balanced diet. So, to answer all these questions, we will watch a video, very interesting video. Okay, watch very carefully.
That fruits contain various nutrients which are required for the proper growth of a body. The food that we eat contains different substances which help our body to grow well and fight against diseases. These substances are called nutrients. The 5 different types of nutrients are carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals. For example, cereals like wheat, rice, jawar, corn, etc. contain carbohydrates which provide us energy. Fats are present in oil, ghee, and butter. We get maximum energy from fats. The next nutrient is proteins. We get proteins from pulses like moong, chana, peas, etc. and also from milk, meat, fish and eggs. Proteins help to repair the wear and tear of our body. In addition to this, we get vitamins and minerals from fruits, green vegetables, milk, etc. All these nutrients are essential for the proper growth of a body. Therefore, a diet which provides us all the nutrients in required amounts is called a balanced diet. Some food items are eaten raw, that is, without cooking. For example, fruits and some vegetables like cucumber, radish, onion, etc. There are also some food items that cannot be eaten raw, that is, rice, pulses, wheat, etc. They are eaten in cooked form as cooking makes the food items soft, tasty, and easy to digest. There are various ways of cooking like roasting, steaming, frying, baking, etc. However, always remember that food should not be overcooked as it can lead to the loss of certain nutrients like vitamins.
So, how was the video? Did you all like it? Okay, now let's move forward towards our next topic. Oh, this child is taking its tongue out. Why? I think it's also going to taste something. Yes? So, we all know that tongue helps us to taste. So, let's study about the tongue also. Let's study about the parts of the tongue.
Now, we know that our tongue
helps us in tasting different tastes. But there are some places in our tongue where we can recognize a particular taste more than the other taste. For example, the tip of our tongue can recognize sweet taste. The upper side portion of our tongue recognizes salty taste, and above it we can recognize sour taste. Bitter taste can be recognized near our throat area. That is why we get the bitter taste only during swallowing bitter medicines. Don't you think? While swallowing we are getting bitter feeling near our throat. There is also another kind of taste called umami or savory taste. It has been described as savory and is characteristics of broths and cooked meat. So this is called umami. But the main kind of taste are sweet, salty, sour and bitter. One at a time, put something to eat in other parts of your mouth, like under the tongue, on the lips, on the roof of the mouth. Did you get any taste there? No, we do not get any taste on other parts of the mouth. We can get the taste only through our tongue. Use a clean cloth to wipe the front part of your tongue so that it is dry. Now put some sugar or jaggery there. Could you taste anything? Why did this happen? So if we wipe our tongue into dry part and then if we put some sugar or jaggery, we won't get any sweet taste. This is because there was no saliva. What is saliva? Saliva is the liquid which is there in our mouth. When the food mixes with our saliva, then only we get the taste. And if our mouth is dry, we are not going to get any kind of taste. And this is the saliva which is there inside our mouth. Stand in front of a mirror and look carefully at your tongue. How does the surface look? Can you see any tiny bumps on the surface? Just like this photo, there will be small tiny bumps on your tongue. These are called taste buds. Taste buds are responsible for the sweet, salty, bitter and sour taste that we feel. Taste buds are the sensory organs that are found on our tongue, and they help us to experience different tastes like sweet, salty, sour.
Okay, children. Now we will go to our next topic, which is process of digestion. You eat food, but how does it digest it? That is a big question. So now we will see how does a food get digested.
Food we eat should be digested so that the blood can absorb the nutrients and life-sustaining vitamins in it. The food from the mouth enters the stomach through the food pipe. It is mixed with digestive juices of the stomach for digestion. From the stomach, it goes into the small intestine where it is further digested by some more digestive juices. The useful food is absorbed by the blood, and the remaining waste which cannot be digested goes to the large intestine. In the large intestine, water is removed from the waste food and sent to the kidneys, and the remaining solid waste food is removed from the body through the anus.
Oh, so this is how a food gets digested? Okay. What is it? Glucose drip. Have you ever heard of it? Yes, na? Might have seen in the hospital. Okay, now we are going to study about the glucose drip, and for this we will hear a story. Neetu's story. Let's just watch this video.
We are going to read a story. Neetu was given a glucose drip. Let us read the story. Neetu was very sick. All day she was vomiting. and she also had loose motions. Whatever she ate, she vomited. Her father gave her sugar and salt solution. But by evening, Neetu was feeling very weak and dizzy. Because she was throwing up everything. She was not able to keep any food in her stomach. She was vomiting. She was continuously doing loose motions and all. When she got up to the doctor, she fainted. Her father had to carry her and go to the doctor. The doctor said that Neetu should be admitted in the hospital and she needs to be given glucose drip. Hearing this, Neetu got confused. She knew that during the games period in school, the teacher sometimes gave them glucose to drink. But what was a glucose drip? Glucose drip is something very interesting. Glucose drip can give you energy and strength even without eating. Do you remember that in class 4th you made a solution of sugar and salt? Neetu's father also made this and gave her. So why do you think this is given to someone who has vomiting and loose motions? Because in case of vomiting and loose motion, the amount of water, salt and sugar from our body decreases because we are vomiting and doing loose motion, which can be really dangerous. So sugar and salt solution is given to replenish the loss. What all water we have thrown out of our body, the same water should be gained back. That is why we should drink sugar and salt solution. Now, have you ever heard the word glucose or seen it somewhere? You must have seen these kind of dabbas in your home. Glucose powder. Whenever we are very sick or we are not getting energy or we are playing some outdoor games, our teachers, our mother give us glucose powder mixed in water. She makes a solution and we drink it and we get instant energy. This is glucose. Now what is the difference between glucose and glucose drip? Glucose we have to mix in with water, make a solution and drink it. After drinking, where will it go? It will go to our stomach. From here, the glucose water will get digested. After digestion, the glucose will get mixed into the blood and it will give us some energy but after some time. Whereas the glucose drip is a glucose water present in a bottle kind of thing and through a thin pipeline and a needle, the glucose water is given straight into our blood. The glucose mixes with our blood straight away and it gives us instant energy within minutes. So without eating also we can get energy. But this glucose drip is always given to patients who are admitted in hospitals, who are not in a condition to eat or drink anything and who are not in condition to have any kind of medicines also. Those who are very weak, those people are given glucose drip.
Okay children, that's all for the class today. Hope you all have liked today's class. Children, revise the class, okay, and do the assignment.
We are going to read a
So children, let's just wind up today's class. Stay safe, stay home, take care, bye-bye and do revise the class. Bye-bye.